Hey everybody, Tatiana here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tatiana and welcome. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. So today we're going to be talking about breastfeeding and why you're not producing enough milk. We're going to get right into it. I ain't going to waste y'all time. I do have my phone here with my notes, so I'm definitely going to help you guys with your breastfeeding journey and tell you why you're not producing enough milk or why you can't produce milk at all. So I have these notes here to help me. I do want to mention that I am not biased because my first daughter, I was not able to breastfeed, so I know a little thing or two, but with my son I was able to breastfeed and overproduce milk. I'm gonna do another video on how to overproduce milk. That's only if somebody wants to do that, but I do have 5 reasons why you're not producing milk at all. So hopefully this helps somebody. Hopefully it helps somebody that just had a baby, planning to have a baby, pregnant, whatever the case may be. So I'm really hoping that this will help people to breastfeed, and for mothers that has just had a baby and they're trying to figure out how to get their milk production. So first I want to say you definitely need to start from the beginning. One of my problems was I didn't stay consistent. So that's another problem that a lot of mothers have, is consistency. You need to be consistent with breastfeeding and pumping. Like if you don't want to breastfeed, you can always pump, but these things will also help you with the pumping journey as well. So another reason is tongue tie or lip tie. So my daughter did have a tongue tie, so it was hard for her to latch. So you might want to check with someone just to make sure that your child doesn't have a tongue tie. You can also see for yourself if your child has a tongue tie. I have a tongue tie, so I think my daughter just got that from me. You can check under the tongue and see if the webbing is just like too close to the tip. It's hard for the baby to latch on to the breast when the tongue tie is there because they can't suckle and have their tongue sticking out to latch on. So that's a reason why you're not producing any milk. The baby needs to latch on to trigger your breast to release breast milk. Another reason why is your baby is latching incorrectly. Now this also goes with the tongue tie, but some babies do not have a tongue tie, but they are latching incorrectly, and so it's not triggering the breast to release the milk because the baby is not latching on to the breast correctly. And that brings me to the next issue, is the breastfeeding consultant and the nurse. So that is very important when you have a baby. With my first child, I did not have the best breastfeeding consultant slash nurse. She didn't really help me latch the baby on, and you know, being a first-time mother, like, you definitely need that help to figure out how to get the baby to latch. And unfortunately I just didn't have one that helped me. She was just like, oh well, she's not latching, let's just go ahead and pump. And I did that, but I really wanted my baby to latch. Now granted, she had a tongue tie, so that could have been the issue, but also for babies that don't have a tongue tie, it's still important to have a breastfeeding consultant slash nurse to be able to help you and show you how to breastfeed. I think I can do a video and show you guys how to do that too. I don't know, we'll see. So another reason is dehydration. When breastfeeding, you have to be hydrated. Like, you cannot have any piece of dehydration going on in your body. Like, you got to stay hydrated, and you have to consistently eat your meals. Like, I'm not saying overeat, but you do need to make sure that you're eating and staying hydrated during the process of breastfeeding. If you're not hydrated, it doesn't help the breast to keep producing milk. Your body needs to be fully hydrated in order to release milk. All right, so the next thing, and this is a big problem that mothers have, is consistency with breastfeeding and pumping. So while you're in the hospital, the doctors or the breastfeeding consultant will tell you that the baby is only supposed to eat like every 4 to 6 hours. And that's typically how it is when the baby is having like Similac or canned milk or something like that. But with breastfeeding, it's different. Breastfeeding, you have to feed the baby on command no matter how early it is, because you got to think about it. You don't know how much milk is being released. So if you feed the baby and baby shows you signs that he or she is hungry, you have to feed the baby. Like breastfeeding is just on demand. It's a little bit different with pumping, but breastfeeding is definitely on demand. Like you have to feed the baby whenever the baby's hungry. Like it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, it could be 3 hours. You just don't know, because your body is producing a different amount of milk each time that the baby is eating. So it's definitely important to feed the baby on demand and not have the baby on a certain schedule when you're breastfeeding. That typically only goes for babies that has like Similac and that canned milk that I was mentioning earlier. You definitely need to feed the baby when baby is hungry. Now I can say it is extremely hard to feed baby on demand because your breast does get really sore. Well, not the breast, but the nipples does get very sore when feeding the baby, especially on demand. If your baby is like hungry like every 30 minutes, every hour, and you have to feed baby, like it's a lot. But breastfeeding is also a commitment. Like you have to be committed to breastfeeding, and that's another thing that mothers do not know, is that you have to stay committed to it. It may be hard in the beginning. Like it's definitely hard in the beginning. Like I can say it's like extremely hard in the beginning, but you have to be consistent and you have to understand that it's not going to last forever. Like the pain is not going to last forever. The uncomfortableness is not going to last forever. Like I said, it's a little bit different with pumping. I can also do another video about pumping because I was actually breastfeeding and pumping, and I had an oversupply of breast milk with my son. So I can definitely do another video on that, but I definitely wanted to help other mothers in the breastfeeding process and to tell them why they may not be producing enough breast milk or breast milk at all. So those are my reasons why you may not be producing breast milk at all or not enough breast milk for baby. And if there's any mamas out there that see this video, please comment and let us know if there's anything else that you noticed about breastfeeding that could help another mother. I know I wish I would have had a support system with my daughter, but unfortunately I didn't. So I hope that this video helps another mother with being able to produce the breast milk and to be consistent with it and to continue to breastfeed their child. Oh, another thing, I can't forget this. It's confidence. Like you have to be confident in breastfeeding your baby. Your baby know when you're getting frustrated. Your baby know when you're getting upset. Like you have to be confident in the fact that you're breastfeeding. Like baby can sense when you're getting agitated. Baby can sense when you're getting a little annoyed because baby's not latching on correctly. Like the baby can tell. The baby will get fussy if you're not in a good mood while breastfeeding, if that makes sense. But yeah, mamas, let me just go ahead and review the whole video. This video is not going to be long at all, but tongue tie, lip tie. Check to make sure that your baby did not have a lip tie or a tongue tie to help your baby latch. Do it early, because I didn't do it early. So then I started to dry up a little bit because I wasn't doing it early and getting her checked out for that lip tie and that tongue tie. And once I saw that she had a tongue tie, I was like, okay, we need to figure something out. But I wish I would have done it sooner. So definitely ask the breastfeeding consultant or your doctor, your pediatrician, if your baby has a tongue tie, if the latch isn't correct. And that goes with the next thing, making sure that the latch is correct. Your body will produce the milk once your body realizes that the baby is latched on correctly, and it'll also help with the pain that you may be having on your nipples. Also, make sure that you have a good breastfeeding consultant. I know that this may be hard because you don't really have many options in the hospital, but one thing that I can tell you is if you search up some videos to help you and to show you how to help baby latch, if your breastfeeding consultant isn't helping you with that, look up videos on YouTube. Look up different things that you can do to help the baby latch, and look up videos that'll show you how to latch. That's what I did. I looked at videos that showed you how to latch. It's a certain way that you should hold your breast. It's a certain way that you should hold baby so baby can latch on correctly. The next thing is your hydration. Make sure you're you're hydrated, make sure you're eating properly. Your body needs to be fueled in order to feed baby. And the most important to me is consistency. Being consistent and stay feeding your baby on demand. I know it's hard, I know it's painful, I know it's stressful, but it does get better. In the beginning, it's very, very hard to be able to do on demand and help baby with that consistency. But I'm telling you, once you get the hang of it, it will be worth it. Like I said, it's extremely hard in the first few weeks or the first couple weeks, it just really depends. But you do need to feed baby on demand in order to continue to produce that milk, because not every baby is the same. Some babies need more, some babies need less, and not every mother is the same. Some mothers not producing enough milk the first time, so baby gets hungry in 30 minutes. Some mothers can produce a lot of milk at one time and then baby is not hungry for another 2 hours. So it just really depends on baby and mother. But I hope this video helped somebody. I am so excited to do more videos on breastfeeding, because if I do say so myself, I was a pro with my son, but unfortunately I was not a pro with my daughter. But I do hope that this video helps somebody. Mama, I know it's hard, I know it's stressful, but you will get through this. But I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.